In this video, we're going to learn how to use designated initializers to initialize array elements in C. So typically when initializing array elements in C, we'll have something like this. Int array 10 is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And this statement here is going to declare and initialize an array called array of type int with a length of 10. And here we initialize each element in the array one at a time and in order. So the first element in the array at the index 0 is going to be assigned the value 1. The second element in the array at the index 1 is going to be assigned the value 2, and so on for the rest of the elements in this array. Designated initializers allow us to initialize array elements in a more flexible way. So for example, we can initialize array elements out of order. Designated initializers are supported in C99 onwards. That means they won't work in earlier versions of C. Before we go over examples of designated initializers, let's output the array elements so we can see the result of using them. Down here, we'll create a loop with a counter variable I that's going to go from 0 up until 10, but not including 10, by 1. Then we'll output each array element. We'll have printf and array and then %d to output the index, and then is equal to %d to output the value, and \n for a new line. We'll output the index I and the element at that index with array at the index I. Then if we save, compile, and run the program, we'll see the array elements have been initialized with the values from 1 to 10 as expected. Next, let's use designated initializers. So in between these curly braces, we'll now have this. We'll have here open bracket 3 close bracket is equal to 20. What this is going to do is initialize the element at the index 3 with the value 20, and all other elements are going to be initialized with 0. Let's try this. We'll save, compile, and run the program, and now we see the element at the index 3 has been initialized with 20, and all the other elements have been initialized with 0. We could do this with multiple indexes in the array. So we could have here, comma, at the index 5 is equal to 50. So this is going to initialize the element at the index 3 with 20, and the element at the index 5 with 50, and all the other elements are going to be initialized with 0. If we save, compile, and run this, we can confirm that, with the element at the index 3 being initialized to 20, and the element at the index 5 being initialized to 50. Now we can actually initialize the elements out of order. So for example, we could have here, first, let's initialize the element at the index 5 to 50. Then we'll have initialize the element at the index 3 to 20. Then if we save, compile, and run the program, we'll get the same result as before. But this time, in our source code, we've initialized the elements out of order. Now, if we leave out this array length here when declaring the array is going to be declared with a length 1 more than the highest index initialized. So in this case here, the array is going to be declared with a length of 6. And we could see that. If we save, compile, and run the program, we can see the first 6 elements of the array have been initialized successfully. Then, when we output the indexes 6, 7, 8, and 9, these aren't really part of the array. So we're getting junk data there in memory. Now we can also continue to initialize the elements past the index specified by the designated initializer. So for example, here we could have initialize the element at the index 1 to the value 3. Then we'll have 9 and 5. And what this will do is initialize the element at the index 2 to 9. And then initialize the element at the index 3 to 5. Then we could have here, set the element at the index 7 to 2, and then we'll have 8. And what this will do is initialize the element at the index 7 to 2, and then we'll initialize the element at the index 8 to 8. We'll set the array length equal to 10 again, and if we save, compile, and run the program, we can see the elements have been initialized like that, with 3, 9, and 5 beginning at index 1, and then 2 and 8 beginning at index 7. Now, if we didn't have 10 here, the highest index in the array that we initialized would be the element at the index 8. And because of that, the array would have a length of 9. And we could see that. If we save, compile, and run the program, when we go to output the element at the index 9, there is no index 9 in our array. So instead, we get this junk data here. So in between the brackets here, we need to have an integer constant expression, but this here doesn't need to be a constant expression. So for example, we could have let's initialize the element at the index 4 equal to the result of calling a function. And we'll define a function called function, and here we'll pass the function 4. Then up here, we'll define the function. We'll have int function, and the function is going to accept an int as an argument. So we'll have the parameter int a, and the function is going to return an int value, and all we'll do is return a plus 1. So a very simple function. Here, when we pass the function 4, the function is going to return 5, and we'll assign that to the element at the index 4. And we'll put 10 here for the array length, and if we save, compile, and run the program, we'll get that the element at the index 4 has been initialized to 5. Now, what we can't do is put something here that is not an integer constant expression. So for example, if we called the function here and we passed it 3, normally this function would return 4, but we can't use it here. So if we save, compile, and run the program, we'll get an error here. It says expression is not an integer constant expression, so we can't do this. Now the next feature I'll show you is not supported by all compilers because it's not part of the C standard, it's a GNU extension. What we can do though is initialize a range of elements. So for example, we could have here the elements in the range 2 to 6, and we'll initialize these elements equal to 4. Now, if we save, compile, and run the program, we'll see the elements in the range of 2 to 6 have been initialized to the value 4. Now we could do this multiple times. So for example, we could have here, let's initialize the elements in the range 0 to 4 to the value 4, and the elements in the range 5 to 9 to the value 7. And if we save, compile, and run the program, we can see the elements in the range 0 to 4 have been initialized to the value 4, and the elements in the range 5 to 9 have been initialized to the value 7. So this is how we can use designated initializers in C to initialize array elements. Check out portfoliocourses.com, where we'll help you build a portfolio that will impress employers, including courses to help you develop C programming projects.